path to a new generation of jazz musicians. Those stories coming right up. Next half hour, I'm Lynn Russell. You're
Stossel's column, Give Me a Break.
Tonight, a dark secret is emerging from the shadows of the church. Hundreds of priests sworn to celibacy are living and dying with AIDS.
I'm a good priest. My HIV is a result of a poor choice I made in my life.
Men with hidden lives struggling with their conscience.
Why don't you obey your vow and stay celibate?
Peggy Waymeyer with a crisis of faith and sexuality. Sins of the fathers. And a sensational Christmas week kidnapping. In the dark of night, not a creature was stirring, except 2 thieves and 2 frightened koalas.
One of the suspects had the idea to take these and offer them as a gift to his girlfriend.
Police, the FBI, the Highway Patrol, no one could find them. Then finally, an anonymous tip.
I have never seen an animal shake that badly. I mean, it was awful. It was an awful scene.
Bill Ritter with the koala caper. Then, do you ever wish you had all the answers?
The Teamsters, Rio de Janeiro.
Magellan, Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Boy, you're hot today.
Meet some people who
love poems to Laura.
Petra.
Hello, Mr. Spoil It for everybody.
What's their secret? Do they study or practice? Is it in their genes?
I think I'm a normal guy.
Can you be a winner like them? Chris Cuomo with the final answer from the Know-It-Alls.
Also, there are plenty of jobs out there, and lots of kids eager to do them. But the law says, no way.
They're not, like, putting us in sweatshops and making us work. I mean, we wanted to do this.
Uncle Sam knows better than parents. I'm John Stossel, and I say, give me a break.
Those stories tonight, January 5th, 2001.
Honey, have you seen my lean pockets?
Lean pocket? All that rich, hearty taste and only 7 grams of fat.
Hello, dear. I don't see your lean pockets anywhere.
The surprising taste of Lean Pockets brand.
Over the years, HUD has helped more than 30 million families buy a home. Now, with our Homebuyer Savings Plan, you'll pay 1/3 less on your FHA mortgage insurance, saving up to $4,500 over the life of the loan. We're doing what we've been doing since 1934, helping families like yours realize their #1 dream of owning a home. Call 1-800-HUDS-FHA.
When your eyes feel dry, gritty, irritated, protect them with Refresh brand eye drops. First, Refresh relieves dryness. Then Refresh forms a lasting shield of protection that keeps irritation out and moisture in. Refresh. It relieves and protects.
Engineer Thad Stump wanted to give a full-size SUV the moves of a soccer star, which is why his team completely re-engineered the suspension on the Yukon XL and tightened the turning radius to make it surprisingly agile. The next time you pull into a tight parking spot, somewhere Thad Stump is thinking, goal!
And now, from Times Square in New York, Barbara Walters.
Good evening, and welcome to 2020. Well, our lead story tonight is about a forbidden and frightening secret within the Catholic Church. Hundreds of Catholic priests who took solemn vows to remain celibate are living and dying with AIDS. It is a battle between body and soul with deadly consequences. Our religion correspondent, Peggy Waymeyer, has the stories of men leading these double lives, struggling with their sexuality, their faith, and their flock.
I just felt there was a real attraction to ministry, to God, and to the church, and to people.
Ever since grade school, Father Roger knew he wanted to devote his life to God.
People will open themselves to you as a priest because they trust you, and what they say in confidence will be kept so.
They trust Father Roger because to a Roman Catholic, a priest represents Jesus Christ on earth. He takes vows of poverty, obedience, and celibacy to stay pure and focused on God. But Father Roger is afraid he would lose the sacred trust of his parishioners if they knew the whole truth about him. He shared his secret with us only after we changed his voice and brought him hundreds of miles away from the parishes he serves.
My ministry will not be able to continue if people knew that I was HIV positive, because they will have already made a judgment about me and will shut the door, and I will have no place to go.
Father Roger is not only HIV positive, he is also gay and has broken his vows of celibacy, all of which he shared with his own priest, the presiding bishop of his diocese.
You told him, not only am I gay, but I have HIV?
Right. He told me that he was very devastated by the news. He pledged total support in anything and everything I needed. That meant more to me than anything. I know that there are some bishops in this country who would have said to the man, please, pack your bags. There you go. I have total support from him, not for any activity that I might engage in or any relationship I might be in. He does not support that, of course.
Even though AIDS can be contracted in a number of ways, Father Roger believes that, like him, many priests have contracted the disease through homosexual relations.
Have you known any other priests like yourself who have the AIDS virus?
Yes, I do.
About how many?
I probably, over the course of my ministry, have known about 15 to 20 priests. Some are still living. Many have died.
Father Jim Healy died 3 years ago. For years, he didn't tell his parish, his bishop, even his mother that he was gay or HIV positive. One of the few people who knew about his struggle with AIDS was his friend Gus Tirado.
I think for a person like Jim, who's for the most part a straight shooter, it was hard for him not to be able to tell the truth.
Father Healy came out with his secret only 5 weeks before he died. In a letter to the National Catholic Reporter, he said, "You will not be terribly surprised that I became persuaded of the emptiness of celibacy for me. In time, I made decisions at odds with my vows, some very foolish, unfortunate decisions, for which I now pay a terrible price."
No more secrets. He felt that, that finally they knew the whole of who he was.
No one knows just how many priests have the HIV virus or have died from AIDS. The most recent and ambitious effort to find out was conducted by the Kansas City Star.
You order the death certificates?
When reporter Judy Thomas learned that 3 priests in the Wichita area had died of AIDS, she was so surprised she began interviewing and surveying hundreds of priests throughout the nation to find out if AIDS had become a serious threat in the most unlikely place, the celibate clergy of the nation's largest church. Today, 7 years after she began her investigation, Thomas has stacks of death certificates.
And how many death certificates?
We're still getting some in, but what I can safely say is that we will be able to document that at least 300 priests have died of AIDS, and that is likely going to be conservative.
Conservative because the Star was only able to access the death certificates of priests from 14 states. Even then, some of the death certificates listed the cause of death as something other than AIDS. But in those states where AIDS deaths could be confirmed, the Star determined that the AIDS death rate among priests was more than twice that of other adult males. We asked the National Conference of Catholic Bishops, the official voice of the church in this country, about the 300 AIDS death certificates obtained by the Kansas City Star. Sister Marianne Walsh is the church spokeswoman.
It concerns me terribly that anybody has AIDS, and even more so it concerns me that 300 of our church leaders, of our priests, would have AIDS.
But Sister Marianne says this represents only a small percentage of priests.
Even if you doubled that number, you'd have less than 1%. And so while you have 300 tragic stories there, you don't have a trend in the priesthood.
I've worked with priests who have died of it.
Richard Sipe, a psychotherapist and former priest, believes the number of AIDS deaths is really much higher than the church will acknowledge. Sipe has spent the last 40 years researching and writing about the sexual habits of Catholic clergy, and he's analyzed hundreds of cases of AIDS in the priesthood.
I estimated that 750 priests had already died of AIDS.
And about how many priests would you estimate have the HIV virus?
Another 750 priests carry the HIV virus.
Detroit Bishop Thomas Gumbleton is an outspoken Catholic leader who says no one will ever know the exact numbers. But he too believes the church has failed to address AIDS in the priesthood openly or adequately.
How many priests have to die of AIDS before it is a problem or crisis for the church?
It is already a crisis and a problem for the church. It shouldn't take any number of priests dying before we say it's a problem. One is significant.
I think for too long this has been a disease of secrets, and the church is no different from any other institution. They want to put their best face forward, and this is not the best face.
Not the best face, because AIDS in the priesthood forces the church to deal with a very troubling and embarrassing issue, that some of the very priests that Catholics turn to confess their sins of adultery and infidelity, themselves sexually active homosexuals.
I would say that between 25 and 45% of American priests are homosexual in orientation.
Sipe is not alone in his estimate. In a new best-selling book, The Changing Face of the Priesthood, Father Donald Cousins, a respected Catholic seminary president, says there is such a high percentage of gay priests in the church that he's concerned the priesthood is or is becoming a gay profession.
Well, I don't think you would ever find any evidence to support that statement about numbers of gays. There's no real purpose in saying whether someone is homosexual or heterosexual. The issue is whether they can make a commitment.
Are you resolved, as a sign of your interior dedication to Christ, to remain celibate for the sake of the kingdom?
What percentage of priests would you say are maintaining their vows of celibacy?
Remember the Ivory soap commercial? 99 and 44, 100% pure? I would bet you're talking about 99%.
You really believe that?
I do believe that.
Bishop Gumbleton believes most priests are maintaining their vows of celibacy, but he says many of those men are gay. It's not hard, says Gumbleton, to understand why a gay man would be attracted to the priesthood.
Nobody's going to be asking you a question, why aren't you married? And the gay person can have a life where he lives as a respected person, a priest, and never has to deal with his homosexuality in a sense. But it's certainly not the place to go in order to be actively gay. That's totally unacceptable.
Can a priest really be gay and celibate?
Yes, I can say that without hesitation. I know some priests who are, and even a few who have come out and function as a priest and as an openly gay priest, openly in the sense only of acknowledging their orientation.
That may sound confusing, but the Catholic Church teaches there's nothing sinful about having a gay orientation, having homosexual desires, whether you're a priest or not. It's acting on those desires, having gay sex, that the church considers unnatural and wrong for anybody.
So the church is in essence saying, you're okay if you're homosexual, that's not evil or bad, but to act on that is morally wrong.
Yes, that's what the church's teaching is.
So when a gay priest has sex, he is not only violating his vows of celibacy, but the church's very strong moral teachings on homosexuality.
After you had your first sexual encounter, how did you feel spiritually about your role and who you were and what you had done?
Confused, of course, but then being a priest on top of that, even more so.
Have you had any sexual encounters since then?
That have been high risk? No. That have been safe? Yes.
How can you remain a priest and have sex?
The problem then becomes mine to deal with. I've made a moral decision for myself that in my own situation, I'm comfortable with what I'm doing.
Do you ever feel like a hypocrite?
Initially I did, but I also am human. I've made mistakes. I've made poor choices. Yet if people wanted perfect priests and ministers and rabbis, perfect clergy, we'd all have to take off our collars and leave the sanctuary.
Still, Father Rogers says the double life he is living sometimes troubles him.
Have you had to wrestle with God over this?
I think God and I have had many heart-to-heart talks. I keep asking him a lot of questions, and I'm struggling too.
What would the church say to a priest who loves his ministry, is homosexual, and is occasionally sexually active?
I think the church would very definitely say, Father, this kind of behavior has to stop. You need spiritual and psychological help. We'll get it for you. If you won't stop, then you really must remove yourself from the active ministry.
Bishop Gumbleton says that until recently, Catholic seminaries failed to teach priests how to integrate their sexuality and didn't adequately prepare them for a lifetime of celibacy.
You know, you can kind of repress your sexuality and your full acceptance of it and refuse to integrate it, you know, in a healthy way for a long time. You're going to find yourself into situations where you won't deal with your sexual urges in a very healthy way, or a completely moral way.
And teaching safe sex to seminarians is not an option.
It'd be like telling a man who's getting married, look, we'll show you how to cheat and not get caught. No, we would never do that.
But the church has made dramatic changes in the last decade in the way it addresses sexual issues in seminary. Instead of denying or repressing sexual desire, seminaries now use progressive psychology to help men deal openly with the once taboo topics of sexual attraction and homosexuality. Seminarians learn how to channel their sexual energy, that it's all right to embrace their homosexual orientation, and that intimate non-sexual friendships can help keep them from stumbling. Even AIDS is now being addressed seriously by the church. Father Dennis Rausch is a Miami priest who ministers to AIDS victims and teaches volunteers how to support AIDS patients.
Jesus didn't ask the person, you know, how they got leprosy. We don't ask people how they became infected. We're here to invite people and to walk with them in their journey, not to judge them.
Rausch's work is unusually powerful because he himself has full-blown AIDS.
As a priest who's gone through this whole process and lives with this disease, to help them to begin to understand that it's not God's punishment, that you're not a bad person, helps them to lead them into a peaceful death, which is my goal. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
The reason Rausch still has a job and can talk openly about his disease is because in his diocese, Rausch has succeeded in taking the sin out of AIDS. He refuses to discuss how he contracted HIV. He has severed the connection between homosexuality and AIDS. And he says that's fine with his bishop.
Did he ask you if you were gay?
No.
He didn't ask any questions?
No. The church has worked so hard to take away blame and guilt and shame and victimizing of anybody with this disease. And we're not going to turn around and start inflicting that all over again.
But not all priests with AIDS feel comfortable speaking so openly. Often their homosexuality and the violation of their vows condemn them and keep them from telling the truth about their disease, from finding the support they need. Some, like Father Roger, remain locked in a private battle that shakes the very foundation of their character.
I'm a good priest. My HIV is a result of a poor choice I made in my life. And that doesn't mean that I have nothing left to give to the church. I acknowledge I'm a sinner. Christ redeemed me too.
How do you think God looks at you?
God will judge me with all the strengths and the weaknesses that he has given me. And God will judge me on how I've done my best. That's all God expects of any of us, is to do our best.
Peggy, welcome back to 2020. Explain something to me. The church accepts homosexuals, but not homosexual sex.
Right.
How does that relate?
It does seem confusing. The church actually teaches that if you feel homosexual, you have a homosexual orientation, that's okay because you can't help that. In fact, the church teaches you shouldn't discriminate against homosexuals, that you should be compassionate and treat them with dignity. But when it comes to sex, Catholics and most Protestant churches also believe it's off limits, God never intended it, and it's sin and you can't do it.
How does the church feel about people who have AIDS, people in general who have AIDS?
The church is wonderful to people with AIDS. In fact, the Catholic Church is on the cutting edge of many AIDS ministries reaching out to people with AIDS. But again, when it comes to its own priests, they do care for them. They take care of them when they're dying, but they're much quieter about it because of the issue of homosexuality.
This is a huge public relations problem for the church and a very difficult and tragic one, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Peggy. Well, when we come back, a very different change of scene. We're going to show you the most pathetic Christmas present you could ever imagine. Pathetic and adorable.
2 irresistible koalas stolen in someone's twisted idea of the perfect gift. Could they survive such a cruel ordeal?
I thought their death warrant signed.
But some guys really spell it out on stage.
I'm not that good a speller. I would, no, if I got filthy on stage, that would leave me no fun after
At home.
work.
That's right.
Where does your heart...
Come on, honey, you know what I like. You know, come on, do the act I really want to hear, baby.
Yeah.
Come on, where's that box of fish? I love you. That was scary.
Where does your heart really lie, young Sackett? I mean, is it...
Young Sackett?
He loves you. He loves you.
I can't believe it.
Is it on stage or is it in front of the cameras? Come on, what do you really want out of this?
I want to make you breakfast every Saturday.
Well, I'll take it.
Sorry. You will? I love stand-up because I get to be funny by myself,
Yeah.
and I'm in control
You have control.
of it. But I love doing Full House. I love acting, and the people I work with are so great. I mean, it's a real pleasure to be able to work with people that you really do love, and it's like a family. You know, we're really.
I knew it was going to be a big hit when my little niece Shanny, who is my barometer of what little kids are. She's watched it the first time, and she said, "I love this show.
They
I'm
know.
gonna never
I'm
miss
telling
it."
you, if the networks were smart, of course, Big played on this thing. You know, where they went out and they hired
That's
a kid to
right.
tell them what
Ask your
toys were going to
kid.
make it. The same thing with TV shows. The kids know right away whether it's going to go or not.
Yeah, my daughter loves Knots Landing. She can't stop watching it. She's hooked on all the soaps. Dynasty every night.
Knots Landing.
Oh, she loves it.
All right, now you know that Bob's character, TV talk show host and a live program. This clip takes place, though, at the casino at Lake Tahoe.
That's right. It's a two-parter. Tonight is a rerun of Full House, but next week begins our two-parter, which is it's so suspense-filled that I can't even think about
And
it.
this is a clip from next week.
A week from this Friday.
All right, fine. Let's take a look at young Sackett in action.
Hi, we're back live from Lake Tahoe where somebody has just won the big jackpot. So, come on, Perry, we're going back into the casino. Boy, this is what live television is all about.
Dad, Joey won the jackpot!
Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Joey just won. Joey! Our Joey! My Joey! Oh, my God, Perry, it's Joey! Joey! Joey, you won the jackpot! You won the jackpot! Yeah! Oh, sorry, Perry, sorry. Joey, you've been broke your entire life. How does it feel to win $100,000? Well,
It feels unbelievable! I mean, not that I would know personally, but this has to be the raddest day of Joey's life. I'm going to Disneyland! What the heck? I'm gonna fight!
Oh, that is...
It's exciting, is it?
Funny stuff.
It's a fun show.
Yeah.
And then, boy, wait till you see what happens. Oh, boy.
Well, there was a lot of suspense right there, I got to tell you.
It, didn't you?
And how?
So you play a talk show host, and probably your whole inspiration has come from Reach.
He's my idol.
Yeah.
I watch him, and Lori Loughlin, who plays the co-hostess
Love
on my
Lori.
show, watches you and
She
learns.
is cute.
She's a doll. Say hello.
You guys are our role models.
Well, thank you very much.
sad.
Just
isn't it,
kissing
Reach?
up. We've never seen the show. No. Hey, you know.
Be nice if we mean that much to you. You could send a few bucks our way. After all, we're giving you all the material in the world here.
You're doing so well. Your show's a hit everywhere across the country. You got all new clothes. You don't even need promo, man.
We don't need promo, man. We don't need anything. We're a hit. And he's a hit, too, in Full House on Friday nights.
Friday nights, 8:30
And
or 7:30
tonight-
Central, or something Mountain Time.
Yeah.
Tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday night, too, at Caroline's?
That's right, through Sunday.
Here at South Street Seaport. Thanks so much.
Young Bob Saget.
Young Saget, not Bob. Young Saget. Tie-dye coming up next, and we'll be back. Bob Saget.
Monday on Live, Jacqueline Smith.
My favorite jeans, I wear them so much, they're hard to keep clean. Every time stains on my favorite jeans fall, Mama left them out with A-L-L, the stain left, that's all.
The sun comes up, the sky wakes too, and every gets mad at me, she still loves me. Mom's real funny that way. Whenever I got hurt, she would always fix it. I've been eating hot dogs since I was a kid, and I was good at it.
Oscar Mayer beef hot dogs, made with pure fresh beef and no fillers. Oscar Mayer, one of the nice things moms do.
Moms take care of the kids they love.
What are the unbeatables? Siemens furniture packages at prices the competition can't touch. Like this Siemens sofa, a low $3.99 every day. This love seat, just $3.69. This cocktail table, $130. 2 end tables, $120 each. 5 pieces, a bargain at $11.38. But wait, Siemens everyday package price is $8.99. You save $239. It's almost like getting the end tables for nothing. Get other great packages at low prices. Siemens delivers right away. The unbeatables today at Siemens.
Tonight, it's the people who make TV tick. It's the stars who sizzle on screen. It's the music that makes you move. It's Entertainment Tonight. We'll take you behind the scenes, on location and in the studios to get the inside story on today's hottest stars. Watch Entertainment Tonight, tonight at 7:30, right here on Channel 7.
Okay. All right, we're back now. We're going to talk about tie-dyeing, which is in. I know you did it back in the 60s, but look at these socks. Aren't these
We did
attractive?
a lot of things back in the 60s.
In any event, we have with us a RIT tie designer and consultant, Linnea Duval. Nice to have you here,
Hi,
Linnea.
Hi.
And she's going to show Kathy and me how we can tie-dye whatever it is around the house that you'd like to, you know, spruce up.
Absolutely. Well, tie-dye is turning into a major wearable art sensation. It's having a great impact on the fashion world. And you can do everything from tie-dye an entire outfit, as you see here, because there are new fashion silhouettes in cotton. You can make matching socks. This is using the accordion technique, which is one of the new techniques. This has the marble technique on the bottom of the socks and the rosette, which you have on your shirt. That's one of the oldest ones. The rosette looks very familiar. Or you can just do accessories. Here's an accordion pleat.
That's very pretty.
This is a silk scarf. Isn't that great? And you can also make a real wild fashion statement and do...
Oh, out of your pantyhose.
Pantyhose.
Let me ask you something. Do you have to start with the color white? Or can you dye something that's already colored?
You can dye over something that's pastel. It's best if it's a dark color, it's not going to work. You need to then use a dye remover.
Pastel or white. Oh, you got to, oh, I see. You got to strip it.
Remove the dye and then start again. So it's best if it's white. Also, it's best if it's 100% cotton, which we have in our t-shirts. So for best results, you want to start with clean garments.
No, Fruit of the Loom.
That are 100% cotton.
I love my Fruit of the Looms.
Regis and Kathy Lee, just so you know, your t-shirts have been marked to see who does the best job. Of following instructions here.
Where are they marked?
I don't know. We're not going to tell you where. That way you can't cheat. All right, we're going to do the accordion technique first.
The
I want to show you how
accordion
simply these
technique.
are. Fold your t-shirt in half
Get
lengthwise.
out your t-shirt right now. Come on.
Right. Okay, now put them down, and then the accordion is just that. It's start at the sleeve and back and forth, just like an accordion.
Oh, yeah. This is how I wrap my t-shirts every night after I wash them.
Now, this is important. When you get to the well, 1 second. When you get to the bottom of the sleeve, fold the sleeve inside the t-shirt. And
sleeve inside the t-shirt.
You see?
Yes.
That's it. There you go. And then
yes,
you keep...
Linnea.
Thank you so much. And you keep going down.
How does somebody break into the tie-dye business?
It's rough, let me tell you. It's a mean market out there.
What are you, a frustrated artist?
No, I'm not. Pardon me, I'm not. She can't
Get
talk.
Get a little tie-dye in the throat, it's a killer.
Now, once you have it pleated like that, you're going to take the thick rubber bands.
Well, this is easy.
And rubber band. Well, that's the whole point. It's easy and it's rewarding.
You could do this with your little kids at home?
Well, that's the whole point. All the kids are home from school right now, so this is a great time for them to start making brand new outfits.
Okay.
Taking t-shirts and skirts.
Both sides.
About
On the two ends?
Well, and 2 more in the middle.
This is going to be a long show today?
Long show today.
With the heavy ones? The heavy-duty ones? The thick ones are best on the accordion technique.
Well, you really got to wrap this well, huh?
Yes, you do. One more thick one, and you do that in the center.
Reed.
What? I'm trying. I'm working as hard as I can here. Need my stress ball.
Well, the rubber bands.
Stress ball.
The rubber bands are supposed to do that for you.
Yeah,
okay.
it is. It's therapeutic.
Right.
I'm
now,
feeling better already.
There you have your accordion technique.
One
Three
more.
rubber bands. Okay, hurry up.
One more.
All right.
Hurry up,
Linnea.
you, hurry up.
It's a sergeant of the tie-dye army. Here, all right there, it's
Okay,
done.
next T-shirt. This one's real easy. This
Another
is...
T-shirt?
Yes.
We're showing two
Absolutely.
different styles, right?
Two different styles, two different techniques. This one's
Okay.
really easy. You ready?
Yeah.
You just scrunch it up.
Oh,
Just pick it up and
That's
scrunch
that's
it.
my kind of tie-dye.
That's your kind of tie-dye.
All right.
Now you take more rubber bands
More
and your
rubber bands.
Ooh, lost that rubber band.
Okay, there you go.
You need more than one rubber band. Come on, Reed.
She's tough. She's tougher than you. All right, three rubber bands.
Right. All right. That's good. Okay, rubber band those up really well. Now, everybody, we don't want stained hands, so put on your rubber
Why
gloves.
don't you just go buy a shirt and leave us alone?
Because this has the reward of being wearable art that you know you've done yourself.
That's
now,
right.
what we're going to do is take those two are mine. Let's have yours, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now, when you're going to do garments, first of all, again, start with clean garments. 100% cotton is ideal, or 100% silk. You want to wet them first so they absorb the dye more
These are
easily.
Kathy's, right?
I'm not telling.
I'm surprised you can do it on a silk because that's such a delicate fabric.
Yes, you can. Now, the other thing, for best results, what you want to do is use the hottest water that the fabric you have chosen can stand. If you're going to do just a small amount, you can do it in a tub like this or in the sink at home. You need to keep moving these around.
What color is that?
Purple.
I hate purple.
I'm so sorry.
I don't want purple.
Well, no one told us that.
What color would you like, Precious?
Chartreuse.
Okay, now, we'll
Oh, you know what? You know
take
what
out
the
a
secret
little
is?
of the
It's
excess
all
here.
in the folding.
Exactly.
Exactly.
A little late for
Now,
you to find that out.
If you want for brighter, deeper colors, you're going to add a cup of salt to the dye bath. Again, you're using hot water.
If you want deeper colors, add a cup of salt.
Salt to the dye bath,
If you want
yes.
lighter colors, don't do anything.
Don't add the salt. Just use a pastel.
Makes sense to
Dye.
me.
Now, will you be able to
Okay.
wash these afterwards without the dye coming out?
Wash them by themselves 1 or 2 times. And then after that, it's a permanent dye. You don't have to worry about See, obviously, a little bit of the excess dye comes out here.
I'm so glad I put these gloves on.
We just wanted, we wanted you to get the feel of it.
Yes, I know, tie-dye lady. Now what's going to happen here?
Now what's going to happen is we're going to see who's...
Okay, we gotta
It
move
should
along.
sit
for
We're gonna open a
15
t-shirt
minutes,
here.
though, right, Linnea?
Yes, it should be in the dye bath for 15 minutes, but we don't have that time
I want to
here.
get my hands wet, too.
Okay.
That is hot.
All right, so you can open up one, and I'll open up. For expediency's sake, we're going to cut the rubber bands here today.
No tie-dye lady. Da-da-da-da-da.
Now, if you want to do more than one color in
Yeah.
the accordion technique,
Yeah, how
what
do
you
they do
do is you move the rubber bands. You don't cut them. You move the
Move
rubber
them?
bands at ½ an inch over,
And then you put it in
and
the
then
next
put
mat.
it in another color.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing that they get 3 and 4 colors. It's a lot of work involved here.
Okay. Now let's open these up and see what we've got. This is our accordion technique. Let's check whose is whose. And maybe the audience can
No
guess.
tie-dye lady.
Okay.
Look at this.
Look it. Whose is that?
This one is Regis's, and that one's Kathy Lee's.
Yours came out better. Hers came out.
That's really fun.
Yeah, Kathy's came out synchronized a little better, you know?
But that's all right. Yours has a...
Yours has character each.
Yeah.
But my heart is bigger, look.
It's like a Charlie Brown shirt.
All
That's
right,
cute.
well, that's how you do all that.
No,
Now,
isn't that easy? It's
we'll
easy.
give you all
it's
the details
inexpensive.
in our weekly newsletter. You know that. And here's a little book that we're going to send to.
Absolutely.
All right,
We'll
fine.
send it to them.
Thank you very much. And
Thank you, Linnea. That was
Linnea,
fun.
that was just terrific.
Thank you.
so
It's
much.
like romper room.
We'll be back in our kitchen with a great restaurant from Atlanta, Georgia, Panos and Paul's, right?
For information on tie-dyeing or any of the segments on this week's shows, please send $1 in a self-addressed stamped business size envelope to Live Newsletter, issue number 1, Post Office Box 1000, Hillsdale, New Jersey 07642.
It's not enough to know what you don't like. You've got to know what you do like. That's why Aunt Millie's created new family-style spaghetti sauce for families that like a thicker, richer, chunkier sauce with zesty Italian spices and big chunks of sweet, ripe tomatoes. New Aunt Millie's family-style spaghetti sauce. There's a lot to like.
Save 3 ways at Grand Union with unadvertised Red Dot specials, everyday low prices, and our weekly Red Dot specials. Like Minute Maid orange juice, now $1.59 for the 64-ounce carton, or Hawaiian Punch, only 59 cents for the handy 3-pack. Jumbo Roll Bounty paper towels are just 79 cents, while our USDA Choice Ultra Trim Boneless Chuck Roast is $1.59 per pound. And look for more savings in our Color Circular. Shop for super values all 3 ways every week at Grand Union.
The only thing that I want in this whole world was just a soft little pet. But they make me so itchy. So my mom gave me a purebred hypoallergenic. I call him Ralph. I take him everywhere I go.
Introducing hypoallergenic Cottonelle. For the first time, the cottony softness of Cottonelle with none of the additives that could irritate sensitive skin.
Today at school, it's Bringing Your Pet Day. We're ready.
Hypoallergenic Cottonelle for sensitive skin.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeopardy fans, listen up. These New Yorkers made it. Now you could too. It's Channel 7's Jeopardy Contestant Search. To enter, send your name, address, age, and daytime phone number to Jeopardy! P.O. Box 767, Ansonia Station, New York 10023. 425 lucky fans will be chosen at random for interviewing and notified by phone from postcards received by May 2nd. Those chosen may win a chance to appear on Jeopardy in California. So hurry, and remember, watch Jeopardy! Tonight at 7 here on Channel 7.
All right, now let's go down to Atlanta and visit with the chef of this great restaurant, Panos and Paul's restaurant. It's nice to have you here. You must be...
Pleasure to be here.
You are Paul, right?
Pleasure. I'm Paul, yes.
Yes, nice to have you here.
You.
Now here's Panos, and here's Paul, and here's Governor Dukakis of Massachusetts, who incidentally is a cousin of Panos.
Yes, it is.
Oh, these Greeks are everywhere, aren't they?
Great.
Nice to have you on the show. I heard a lot about your restaurant there in Atlanta. And you're going to make one of your specialties today,
Glad
Chef?
to be here. Yes, Regis, we prepare a chicken breast in pastry. It's very easy to prepare, ideal for many occasions, and an unusual...
You know, you can have a chicken breast, but when you put it in pastry, then you got a dish that looks just like that, and it's very festive as well.
We're starting off with 2 chicken breasts, boneless, skinless, and split. 4 tablespoons clarified butter.
4 tablespoons of butter?
4 tablespoons. 1 cup white mushrooms, cut in quarters. 1 cup chicken stock.
Boy, that is thick chicken stock,
It's quite reduced.
It's what?
Very much reduced.
Oh, it's reduced,
for the sauce. Half a cup heavy cream.
Right.
2 tablespoons walnut halves. 2 ounces Calvados, apple brandy. 8 ounces puff pastry. Also can be substituted with pie dough. 1 lightly beaten egg, and of course salt and pepper.
All right, fine.
We're starting off with clarified butter and in a hot skillet. Has to sizzle. Can you pass me the chicken, Luigi?
Yeah, sure.
Then, so you maybe put salt and pepper. You know how to do this?
Yeah.
This is unique here. Can't forget one. We have salt on one side and pepper on the other. We turn it quickly. So, for you very professional. You can help.
You should be with me. Forget about Panos. Be with me.
Weekends, we always shouldn't help. You may come down to Atlanta and...
I was down there last month. I was at Macy's in Atlanta. It was a lot of fun.
It's great.
Yeah.
Great city.
It is a great city. How long has your restaurant been there?
We opened since 10 years.
10 years, huh? And you get all the important people of Atlanta, huh?
It's great.
Oh, that's
it's
good.
Just...
now, that's kind of a high flame you're using, right?
Yes, I like to throw the chicken breast on both sides and cook them halfway.
I do, too. I like them nice and charred.
Cook them halfway, then the finished product will be in the casserole dish. After all the garnishes and the brandy is in here, is sealed, all the flavor is cooked and sealed in the chicken and open on the
So we're going to make that right now.
Table. Next, I will add my mushrooms. I place the chicken in the casserole, like so. You have great equipment here. It's,
really?
It's just...
nice to hear a compliment once in a while.
We add the chicken stock.
It's chicken stock, coming up. Oh, you're keeping it waiting over here.
Chicken stock and the cream. Can you put half a cup cream here? Not too much, otherwise you have too much cholesterol here. So, as you see, I remove the breast from the chicken, and all the cholesterol is actually in the skin.
That's right, yeah.
And we add cream, so we allow for extra cholesterol.
All right.
In the meantime, we prepare the cover. It's 1/8 of an inch rolled puff pastry. We cut the dough 1.5 inches larger than the cover, so in order to seal the casserole dish. And let's garnish, decoration. Can you help me here?
Sure.
Did you make Christmas cookie before?
Absolutely.
I got a perfect cutter here. You're great. You don't waste too much. We need a little bit more here.
You're right. I did. I wasted some here. But I kind of like this. It's fun.
We brush lightly beaten egg on top of the cover.
On top of the cover, why?
In order to make it stick.
Oh, make it.
You see here?
Yeah. You're going to cover the whole thing with that. Huh?
That's the idea.
You sure you're doing it the right way?
All the flavor is sealed in the casserole. And also, this dough has two...
Two what?
Two purposes.
Paul just left us.
There's two purposes. One's to seal all the flavor inside. The second is to serve the garnish that you prepared so nicely with our dish.
Yeah, you know, I've never seen it prepared like this.
Now we pour the sauce on top. You see? 2 tablespoons walnuts on here.
Put them in?
2 tablespoons. Not all, not all. Oh, that's enough. They're expensive. By the way, in Atlanta, Georgia, we're using pecans.
Pecans. Very
Apple
sweet.
brandy.
Sweet, aren't
Yes. We have in Georgia, these pecans just great.
Georgia?
Just
Georgia. My whole life. Okay, now,
By the way,
we're sealing this up. I've never seen chicken prepared like this.
That's the unusual thing. At this time...
What a production this is. What do you sell this dish for,
This
$110?
can be, well, chicken price goes up.
Is it worth all this work? Look, here
Chicken
come my
price.
little things here. Look.
Here come your garnish. There you go. You brush it again with egg.
Now, what do we do with this?
Time, this can be prepared even in the morning. The last minute, you pop it in the oven.
Yeah.
Bake it at 375.
375.
Just before dinner time. Let me try this here. Oh, look what I have here.
What happened? Paul, look what
Magic, magic. Look at this.
That's really something.
Chicken casserole.
What a production.
Let me just show you very quickly. This you serve on the dining room table. You open it on the table.
And there it is.
And all the flavor.
Wow. Isn't that something?
To serve, of course, you don't want to waste the pastry, the nice crisp pastry. Let me give you one little taste here.
All right, I'm going to take one little bite. And then you slice it, right?
You slice it.
Now, should I have this or should I have this one?
I think this just is freshly baked. This is what you should taste.
Paul, should I have this? Or you want to make it over there?
I tell you what, this one we give for Cassie.
Kathy. Regis. Okay. We gotta go, Paul.
That is one of the prettiest
Panos
dishes
is
I've
calling.
ever seen, Reach.
It really is spectacular.
Please enjoy it.
Unbelievable.
You
Thank
see, that's the extra touch you get when you go to Paul and Panos' restaurant in Atlanta. It'd be good after all this, right?
Yeah.
You have to come down to Atlanta and see us.
I will. Thanks for watching us on Channel 5.
I'm coming down just for this. That is absolutely scrumptious.
Thank you.
Negaholics coming up next, and we'll be right back. Panos and Paul's, Atlanta, Georgia.
Accommodations for some guests supplied, provided by the Marriott Marquis, home of Broadway's Marquis Theater, and the View, New York's revolving rooftop restaurant, New York's Marriott Marquis. And once again, for a copy of today's recipe or for information on any of this week's shows, please send $1 and a self-addressed stamped business-size envelope to Live Newsletter, issue number 1, Post Office Box 1000, Hillsdale, New Jersey, 07642.
Announcing the best bargain in the tri-state area for everyone who would like to own a home of their own. Yes, if you're currently renting and paying $600 a month or more, stop, because now you could own your own home and property for less. Conveniently located just 60 miles from Manhattan in beautiful eastern Pennsylvania. We're a lot closer than you'd think and a super easy commute. Whether by car, express bus, or high-speed train, we're as close as you need to be to all major work areas. And you can select from not just one home, but from one of our many custom styles. Yes, we're so sure that our home prices are the lowest that we make this extraordinary guarantee. Owning one of our custom homes will cost you less per month than you're now paying in rent, or we will make your rental payments for you for 1 full year. Now that's a solid guarantee. So call now and schedule your appointment to tour our model homes. This limited offer may be withdrawn without notice. Call now.
Hey, where'd you get that style? In your walk, in your smile. Hey, where'd you get that flair? That perfect look that makes them stare, stare, stare. Nobody knows. Where'd you get those clothes? Huh? How can I feel as good as you? How can I look the way you do? Nobody knows. Where'd you get those clothes? I found it at Marshall's. Oh, yeah.
We got the price that's right and so much more. We're King Cullen, Long Island's own.
Save all week on Pepsi, Diet Pepsi or Slice, 2-liter bottle, 89 cents. Folgers coffee, only $1.69. Tropicana Twisters, 46-ounce bottle, $1.49. Lipton tea bags, just $1.69. And Seal Test ice cream, 2 half-gallons, $4.
We got the price that's right and so much more. We're King Cullen, your Long Island.
If you truly are one, Kathy and I are going to take a test, then we're going to bring out some folks who really are suffering from this. This is the book. It's called How to Recover from Your Addiction to Negativity and Turn Your Life Around. Cherie Carter Scott is our author and our guest, and we thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Tell you what, I think we'll all get the idea if we get right into the test for Kathy and me, okay? And we'll find out who's negative and who's a negaholic. Okay.
All right, let's jump right into it.
Yes,
and everyone out there can take the quiz with us. Number 1, have you ever talked yourself out of trying something new for fear of looking stupid?
Well, now, have you ever? You mean if it happened once in your life, you can say yes?
Absolutely, Regis. Any time in your life that you have been afraid of trying something new because you didn't want to look dumb, stupid, make a fool of yourself.
I understand, yeah, sure.
Okay, once or twice.
Don't look at my answers.
Okay, number 2. Do you often count your gray hairs or wrinkles in the mirror? You know, when you get up in the morning and you go to the mirror?
Count your gray hairs?
It says often. Do you often count them?
Do you often?
Does 4 or 5 times a week count?
Yeah. 4 or 5 times a minute count?
That counts. That all counts, absolutely. Okay, number 3. Do you write the entire day off as a bad day if one thing goes wrong? In other words, if you have had a terrific day and one thing blows it, do you say, well, that's it, the whole day's trash?
At this point in my life, I'm lucky if just one thing goes wrong, so I got an answer.
You're an optimist.
That's right. Okay.
Really?
That was here's number 4.
Number 4, if a friend forgets to call, do you take it personally?
Do you take it personally?
Yeah, do you feel hurt? Do you feel like they don't love me, they don't care about me, they didn't call?
Okay.
Okay.
Number 5.
5, if someone compliments you, do you feel you don't deserve it? Or do you brush it off, or do you say, oh, this old thing, this old dress, oh, you don't really mean it?
Okay, got the answers for
All
you.
right.
We're going to come back, we're going to check our answers and yours and find out if we're negaholics in just a minute.
Next Friday on Live from L.A. Law, Corbin Bernsen.
Ice cream. This should be enough.
Not smart.
I'd rather have light and lively ice milk.
Smart.
Syrup, whipped cream, bananas.
Oops, not smart.
Vanilla fudge twirl. Only 120 calories.
Yeah, smart.
I think I overdid it.
Not smart at all.
Real fudge.
Creamy, rich, like ice cream.
That's smart. Now in 2 new flavors, vanilla raspberry twirl and vanilla chocolate covered almond.
None of us will forget that morning. I joined my chums as I, too, was jolted by the news. Mr. Thomas had moved his bake shop to America.
What's going on, Jack?
No more would we have his English muffins with nooks and crannies and melted butter to sustain us through our dreary day. University without nooks and crannies? It was yet another cross for England to bear.
Thomas's English muffins. For over 100 years, England's breakfast tradition in America's hands.
We save you money. Shop right, does it right.
It's the second big week of ShopRite's Price Break. Look for our Sunday circular or ad and save on ShopRite's 100% premium orange juice Price Break, 99 cents with this coupon. And White's Bacon Price Break, 79 cents with this coupon. Take a price break at ShopRite this week.
We save you money. ShopRite does it right. ShopRite does it right.
Dear Road and Track, in your August 1987 article on the new four-wheel steering Prelude, you forgot to mention a most important statistic. The Honda Prelude now travels through the Solemn faster than any other production car in the world at any price, including the Porsche 944. G. Michael Horsley, San Antonio, Texas.
Honda, the car that sells itself. At your New York, New Jersey, Connecticut Tri-Honda dealer.
All right, we're talking about negativism, negaholics. We have two folks here who are recovering negaholics. Sitting next to me is Ashley Rogers from New York. Nice to have you with us, Ashley. Jamie Weinstein from Santa Monica, California, and thank you for joining us. Now, we just took a test, and you heard the questions that were asked, and perhaps, well, you did too at home. We hope you took the test with us. Let's all take a look at these answers now and see how negative Kathy and I are, and then we'll talk about this.
Great.
Go ahead, Sharon.
Give yourself 10 points for every answer.
All right.
If you have 0 points, it means you have a very high self-image. Give yourself a pat on the back and celebrate. You're not a negaholic.
Okay.
If you have between 10 and 20 points, you have a mild case of negaholism. It's not too critical, but if you have 30 to 40 points, you have serious negaholic tendencies. Be careful. Pay attention. If you have 50 points, it's the danger.
You're a negaholic
Watch
the way I
out.
see it.
Absolutely.
5 times 10 is 50.
No question.
So, you mean, what are the answers
Well,
here?
what's your score,
You
Regis?
have 10, 20, 30.
I got 30.
Okay. It's
What have you
something
got?
to watch out for.
10. And I'm in a bad mood.
So I got 30, so I'm on the borderline.
You got to watch it,
Holy
Regis.
cow, I do
You
have to
really have to
watch.
take a serious look at this condition. I mean, I think it's time. Now, you know the kind of person who's a negaholic?
Yeah.
It's the person who gets up in the morning and the first thing they think is, it's going to be a terrible day. I feel awful. Look at the bags under your eyes.
That's me.
I feel, I mean, is everybody going to like me out there? Do I have my
That's
coat
me
on
again.
correctly? Is my tie straight?
Yeah.
I mean, am I all right? Or are they going to love me?
I get the idea, all right?
Okay, I got it.
Ashley, tell us about your life.
Well, I've never really been a full-blown negaholic, and I think that's a really important point, that people can walk around and be very successful, highly creative, talented people and still have those negative tapes in their heads. And that's something to really remember, that you can turn that around. You don't have to always have be doom and gloom.
That's right.
To be considered a negaholic.
It's part of your life.
Right.
Jamie, how deep, how bad did it get for you?
I don't think of myself as a negaholic all the time. It's a kind of condition that is there underneath everything happening.
And circumstances will bring it
I'm in
forth.
remission right now. Like when you're doing okay, and you look back at it and you say, like I've been a seminar junkie all my life, trying to find a way to get out of this, because I know it. But on the outside, people working with me, and I work with people all the time, helping them construct their lives. I was always hiding some of my own deficiency around that.
Is that because of the messages they were given as children by their parents? You can't do it, it's dangerous out there, be afraid, wear your raincoat, all that?
Yes,
definitely.
those are some of the messages, but other messages are, you know, what did you get on your report card? You got a B? You should have gotten an A. You got an A, you should have gotten an A+.
Never quite meeting the mark.
Never good enough. And the other thing is, if your parents were wonderful, lots of kids will compare themselves to their parents thinking, I'll never be as good as they are. They were such ideal people. So you can get it both ways. You can have a great home or an abusive home.
What's the difference between negaholism and bad moods?
Well, all of us have bad moods. We have up days, down days. We have biorhythms. We have different times of the month that we're affected by the moon and the planets and things. But the truth is that negaholics have that monkey inside who's beating on them, who's criticizing them, finding fault with. Okay, I want to give you some specific tips, both for the two of you and for anybody who watches this show. You have to start focusing the spotlight on the positive and off of the negative. So one of the things you can do before you go to bed at night is you can make a list of all the acknowledgments, accomplishments, achievements that you have during your day. All the good news. What have I done right today?
Dwell on that more.
Yeah, count your blessings as opposed to looking at the terrible news. Okay, that's one thing. Number two is nurtures. Things that you can do to yourself, for yourself, that say you matter, you count, you're worth taking the time, spending the energy and the money on.
Are you doing this right now to change your life, to turn it
Well,
around?
I have been, definitely. Very much what you said, Kathy, is my parents were very positive and very loving, but they always were concerned about me and scared. And I took that.
Because they love you.
Because they love me. And I took that to heart and said, oh, maybe I can't do what I'm doing. And I've been successful, very successful, but I still have that negative tape.
So you're a recovering one right now.
Now you were thinking about I just had a flash of childhood that if I brought in 3 A's and 1 B.
Where's the 4th A, right?
Where's the 4th?
Right. Thank you all very, very much. Very interesting. The name of the book is Negaholics.
What makes a $250 suit a better buy? The better way it fits and feels. And 2 $250 suits for $250 are even better. Right now at A&S, buy any $250 traditional spring suit and get 2 solids, patterns, even double-breasteds. 2 for $250. For a better buy, better get to A&S right now. It's terrific.
There's no heartburn like your heartburn. And there's no leading antacid tablet like Gaviscon Extra Strength Relief Formula, the fire extinguisher, because only this Gaviscon dispatches a unique foam barrier to smother your heartburn, while acid neutralizers put out the fire. Gaviscon Extra Strength Relief Formula, the fire extinguisher.
Meet the class of 2008, provided, of course, their tuition is planned for. MB Furniture and the Dime Savings Bank want you to know it's never too early to start saving for education. You can pick up the Dime's free guide to financing your child's education at MB or one of these Dime branches. You could even win a $250 CD or a weekend for 2 at Mount Airy Lodge.
We can help you make their dreams come true.
Playing baseball, you think of a lot of personal sacrifice and a lot of physical sacrifice, but you never figure you have to go through the loss of 7 teeth to play.
For John and thousands like him, there's a new answer to tooth loss: dental implants.
I feel as if I have my own teeth. I feel like it's just a part of me now. And
It's a reliable and predictable alternative to plates or dentures.
Oh, I'm so pleased with the work they've done.
To learn more about implants, call the East Brunswick Oral Implant Center, toll-free, 1-800-321-1210.
Jacqueline Smith.
Some members of our studio audience will receive the following. Gitano, always on the cutting edge of fashion and design, offering up-to-the-minute styling and exceptional quality. Gitano. Free bowling. You'll find a certificate good for free bowling on all specially marked packages of Swanson Hungry Man frozen dinners and pot pies. Sylvania soft white light bulbs. Guaranteed 5% longer life than ordinary bulbs. Sylvania, where the best comes to light. The classic romantic fragrance of Windsong by Prince Machiavelli. Your Windsong stays on his mind.
Columbo is Ka-yum-yum-yum-yum-yum-yum-bo.
Kayumbo means flavor. Kayum-yum-yum-yum-yumbo flavor.
Columbo is Ka-yum-yum-yum-yum-yum-bo.
Kayumbo means all the flavor of all real fruit and all fresh milk.
Ka-yum-yum-yum-yum-yum-bo.
Kayumbo means Columbo non-fat light yogurt with all of the flavor and none of the fat.
Columbo is Ka-yum-yum-yum-yum-yum-bo.
Butterfly, the perfect woman, at the Eugene O'Neill Theater.
Come share the brand new feeling at A&B.
Come in and find to get more and spend less.
Share the feeling.
Spend less special. specials, super coupons, and low prices every day. Only at A&P, New York's #1 family of food stores.
Come share the brand new feeling. At A&P.
Islam in America, Saturday at 7:30.
My guests today all wish that they'd been born into different families. They say that some of their relatives are wicked, horrible people who don't deserve to be related to them.